Presentation will be by Vivek Gupta, and after that there will be a Q&A session. So please keep your questions ready for all the speakers in this session. Thank you. Vivek, please come on to the stage.
Yeah, namaskar to all of you. And first of all, I'm thankful to ARC for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you. We have heard in first three topics about the latest technologies which is being followed in the world. And the most important part is the environment, which all of us often talk. If we are traveling in the market, we always feel that it should be pollution-free. We are working in the plant, we always feel that the plant should be safe. The whole body which is coming in the morning should go in the evening in the same condition. And the people who are working in the plant should be knowledgeable enough to operate the plants, and there should be no incidents because of the skill. So all of us know that the automation and digital technology has changed the way we live, we work, and in fact, it has increased the productivity. I'm using the word productivity. Earlier, we always used to talk about the production, the higher productions. But the productivity comes with, suppose 1 ton of certain material is produced. What is the cost? What is the energy used? Is it a safe operation? All these three things combined gives the word productivity. Then efficiency and the profitability of any organization. But is it enough? No. Because all of us know that we also want a safe environment, good social and governance also. So I'm going to speak on how the automation and digital transformation is helping in meeting goals. So just a small slide, every one of us know what is DT. All these things we are using nowadays in each of our functions in our daily life also, in addition to the process industries. And what is actually ESG? It actually refers to a collection of corporate performance evaluation criteria that assess the robustness of a company's governance mechanisms and its ability to effectively manage environmental and social impacts. You know, nowadays, the pollution control boards are very closely monitoring the operations of the plant. Are they affecting the surrounding? Are they affecting the environment where the gases are being released? Are they affecting through the discharge of the water that is coming out of the plant? So everything comes under the title of ESG. And United Nations has set up 17 sustainability goals. So how digitalization can help, we will see in the subsequent slides. Now, what actually ESG report consists of? What we give is, it is actually collect the most accurate and recent data for your report and don't omit any important information. That is very, very important part. Nowadays, a company are getting themselves audited for ESG. And soon it is going to become a permanent part of their annual report. The companies who are not following the ESG form, maybe in the future, they may be liable to pay some kind of penalty. Then the sector benchmarks, then stakeholders. Nowadays, the stakeholders also want what is the performance of a company as far as the ESG criteria is concerned. Then there are some certain scoring standards, data sources, and date stamp. So everything comes and forms part of a ESG report. Now actually, what are the most important part if we talk about environmental? We all of us know that the renewable energy is taking the prime seat as far as the energy is concerned. maybe in form of, we can say, a hydel power, a wind power, a biomass power. Then what about the energy efficiency? What is the climate risk, water management, recycling, emergency preparedness? These all things comes under the title environmental. Why I'm showing all these is how the technology can help in all these. Similarly, the social, the health and safety is the prime importance for any industry who has to run. Because when we heard of accidents, the first thing which comes in the mind is, are they not following the safety norms? Yes, they are following, but there are lapses. How do we know that? Unless we have the data, the information on part of that. So that is where the digital technology helps. What are the working conditions? Employee benefits, diversity, human rights, impact on local communities. Similarly, is the governance. Are they following the ethical standards? Board diversity and governance, stakeholder, shareholder rights, and the pay for the performance. Some of the points are like that, where the technology really helps. Now, what are actually the goals of the digital transformation? See, these two things have to dovetail. Actually, everybody is running a company. The digital technology is being used, maybe at a smaller scale, maybe at a larger scale in some of the companies. But are they really helping in ESG? We are very well aware that no company would like their profits to go down. But on what account? Are they running their plants safely? Are they taking care of the surroundings, the environment? Are they taking care of their own people? And more on that. So there are few things which, some of the words you have heard in previous two presentations also. So now, I will take all this E, S, and G. Now, first of all, let's take about E. So that is the optimize energy usage and energy efficiency. These two are very important part. And how do we rely upon that? So when we talk about energy, every motor, every pump, they are taking certain amount of energy. Are we measuring? Is it being measured? For each and every equipment, that is what we are running in the plant. Are they consuming the power as per the design? If not, why? We know that some of the legacy equipment are also there. Can we introduce variable frequency drives to see that they consume optimized power? If we talk about hot water, which is draining out in the various plants, DCM Shriram has done one project of vapor absorption unit, VAM machines. In our fertilizer ammonia plant, the 90 centigrade water we have used to chill the gas which is being fed to the compressor. And I tell you, it has given a benefit of 320 units per day. It's not a small figure. 320 units per day. So it's running in few lakhs. That is how each and every company can think of. One project based back to basics, ORC, each one of us has studied in our science, organic Rankine cycle. How do we utilize that to increase our power, not the consumption, but how to increase the power which can be used in the plant? So that plant is going to be commissioned in the month of October, where again the hot condensate water will be used to produce energy. So these are the few things where the technology can be used. Similarly, the circular economy, the output of the one plant should be used as an input to the other plant. The wastewater which is being generated, using the various technologies, you can use those water as an input to the other plants. Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, these are the two words which are making a lot of noise in the market. But we can see that the legacy equipment, they don't even have the acoustic, the vibration, the temperature, the flux, the speed, measurements. If you take a case of a coal power plant, there are coal mills. They need acoustic measurement. And by that, an operator who are experienced can know that if there is any fault in the coal mill. Are we using those sensors or not? You need not to make even a hole. You can just put that sensor over the coal mill as a related part, and you will be able to know and you will be able to save the secondary damages in the plant. Similarly, we can have digital twins, and we can avoid the wastage of the material, because the digital twin, it can be a service, it can be any equipment, and you can know how efficiently it can work. Similarly, the advanced data analytics. This is a very, very vital and important part, whether you talk about E, S, or G. The data are available in DCS, but how efficiently we are able to use it, that is the most important thing. And the other part is, those data have to be outside the DCS, not in the DCS network, as a process historian, where you can play with all big words like AI, ML, and all those things. And the supply chain management is, of course, a very important part. Here, we know that how do we transport our finished goods, that every company controls. But what about the raw material which is coming? And what about the finished product going to the customers? So that is what they call it as emission 3. It means your prime consumer and your prime supplier who is giving you the raw material, how do they are following the ESG norms? The times have to come when this will be also taken care. So now we take the case of 3 R's as we know about environment. Boilers are already existing in various plants. Can we modify? And then the combustion controls, which we used in power plants. Can we use, let's say, a biomass along with the coal, so that the cost of the fuel can be optimized? Now, using the smart combustion control, because coal has got a different CV, biomass has got a different CV, and the response time for the change in the load, and in turn change in the pressure, you need to have some kind of technology which can make the system smooth. Similarly, we must know the KPI deviation assessment. We all are tuning our loops in our plants. But what is the actual process value versus the set point? This deviation assessment is very, very vital to see that the plant is running at its optimal value. APC, of course, you have heard about it. Overall equipment effectiveness. Better control to reduce wages. Water, air, gas, electricity, and steam. Very, very important. At DCM, we have carried out an audit of the steam, the air, and we found there are a lot of opportunities to optimize there itself. There are small leaks of air in the air supply system. Why I'm talking about is, this in turn reduces the waste of air. It means the energy needed to produce that kind of air, so you are ultimately saving the energy. Similarly, the reuse. We all automation professionals know it very well. We change our mobile every 2-3 years. Nobody asks. But if an automation engineer asks that the certain version of DCS has changed, probably management won't agree so easily. Because they feel that as long as the computer is showing the values, nothing more need to be done. So we have to see that if we can refurbish, or using 2-3 components of various transmitters, we can make one single transmitter. You must be thinking why I'm talking about this is because the time has come, waste of the electronic and electrical equipment, WEEE, is also gaining a prime importance. We are using battery in the plant. We have a certain procedure to actually give it to the stores, then the recycler will take it. But what about the batteries which you use in your house? You simply throw it away in the waste. Are we using that, the particular kind of the system which the government has generated? No. So until unless we find a way to do it, we are not going to reuse those things. Similarly, the low-grade heat use that I was talking about, VAM and ORC and the HVAC systems. Then fly ash of the boilers. We have boilers, PF-type boilers, AFBC boiler, CFBC boilers. So the ash of the AFBC boiler can be used in CFBC boiler as a raw fuel. You have to use the technology and see that it works. Then quality management, identification of the faults in the products. That also plays a very, very vital role. Why? Because if the quality is good, then the less wastage. Less wastage means less energy. Similarly, the recycle. Nowadays, the new power plants are not allowed to discharge any water outside the environment. You have to have a ZLD. ZLD again used a lot of technologies. Battery disposal I have already spoken about, and waste electric and electronic equipment also. So, how can we make it sustainable? At the design stage, as my friend has already talked about that, operations, maintenance, and supply chain. Now, what about the social? Are we using the safe operations of the machines? Are we having all safety sensors? That's the most important part. We know about the train accident which recently happened in Odisha. What was wrong in that? The wrong part of that was that the change management document system was not properly documented. The other person was not knowing that there was a certain change. So that safety has to be followed. Similarly, we have various types of helmets in which the Microsoft team, we can have a meeting. A person sitting in Singapore can guide you what is going to be wrong and what is wrong in your machine. CCTV is very widely being used. And similarly, the toxic gases, we can have a centralized, like we have our DCM Shriram, we have a chlorine gas. So we have a centralized system where a person entering into the plant can know what is the chlorine level. Similarly, all of us know about CEMS and EQMS that is being monitored by the Pollution Control Board of the state and government of India. So as far as the social is concerned, the employee safety, the development and labor practices surrounding the environment, production change to productivity, and looking around the surrounding community as well. So what is governance? This technology gives you transparency and accountability. It is not dependent on any human to tell you what is happening in the plant. The data will tell you. So it helps even to have more stringent goals for the company to run. We all know about the SPM, suspended particulate matter in a power plant. The limits were 150, then came down to 100, and now it is 30. So how these things are happening? So with the use of technology, you can do it. And then what are the recommendations? You start, commence it, have the data-led approach, consider short and long-term goals, hold your ecosystem to account, communicate your vision. That is very, very important. Every employee of your company should know what you are going to do as far as ESG is concerned, and then commit. On the website, many companies show various commitments, but they fall short because they are not led by data. That is the most important part. And if all these things will not be done by all of us sitting in this hall, now, then when? And who will do? We all have to do. So let's commit ourselves that as an individual and as a company, we are committed to the environment, to the social, and to the governments, and we see that we make this earth as a better place to live. Thank you very much.